3, 2, 1.
All right, we're back. The oven is about to produce your pork loin. Again, these more milk products, awesome. Already marinated, they're tender, they're juicy. I didn't even season it, just because it's got everything in there already. I think this was about $9, I think. Not a bad deal. Now, in the instructions I mentioned letting your meat rest. Now the point behind that is throughout the cooking process, proteins are being coagulated. That is what you do. That's what happens when you apply heat to flesh, to meat. The protein molecules are bouncing all around in there, and once complete coagulation, which is well done, has occurred, there's no pink. This will have some pink, which is good. Those protein molecules bouncing around, it's like they're all tightened up. Students have seen me do this many a time. They're tightened up like this, like a fist, and when the cooking process ends, it's like it relaxes, and literally juice and moisture will come out. And if you were to go ahead and plate this immediately, for example, at the restaurant selling hundreds of steaks every weekend, you have to let your meat rest. Otherwise, you put a medium well ribeye on this plate, the server takes it out the door and sets it down in front of the customer, and all of a sudden they have all this red juice, and they call it blood. It's not blood. Technically, it is not blood. It's just merely red juice love, which a lot of people like, but they don't want to see it on their plates. They don't want to spend $28 to have a medium well steak that they think is undercooked. In reality, it's actually medium well. So letting meat rest is very important. It's one way I gauge restaurants. I don't eat steaks out very often just because I eat them so often for my job. If I were to get a steak on a plate that has the juice all on the bottom, that really makes me believe that they're incompetent. But it is what it is. Now, I believe I told you 60-degree angle on a bias. You're going to need a sharp knife, long preferably. And when I say bias, and you could just do this, make great and all, that's fine. But this is just one way to make a normal meal extra gourmet, just with something as simple as cutting it on a bias. Oh man. It smells fantastic. So what we have here, about medium well-ish. That's pretty much it. It's perfect. Okay, now we're going to put this together. Very simple. In my instructions, I use terms like 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. We'll get the idea. It's cheesy love. How you put a plate together makes a lot of difference too. I mean, you can have the difference between a junky-looking plate and a great-looking plate is really like an extra 10 seconds worth of effort. And if you're going to be successful in this industry, if you don't put that 10 seconds extra effort in, you're not going to be famous or employed probably eventually. So that's about 3 to 4 ounce portion. That's plenty. Now this is ready to eat food, as we call it, as in this will go directly to the customer or directly to your spouse or significant other. So I'm going to put on gloves because this is a real educational facility right here. Valentines Technical College. Okay. See all that moisture on there? That's what we didn't want on there. When I say fan it out, very simple. I mean, just an extra bit of effort. Very simple. Got our asparagus here. Don't need to use all of it. A typical portion on a vegetable side is 2 to 3 ounces, which I'd say is probably about 7 of these. Just going to simply lay it up there. And I could have just put the potatoes there. I could have put the meat right there and the asparagus right there, just like, a TV dinner. But, 10 seconds extra effort, and it's beautiful. What can I say? It's really nice. For garnish, You don't have to get too fancy. If you got some of that leftover Parmesan cheese over the entire thing, Shazam. That's it. We'll set this over here and get all three together, and the rest is up to you. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. It's been fun. Good luck.